this is Rainbow Harmony, here to help you find balance and peace to live a more colorful life. And welcome back to Manifest with me in March. I hope that you guys had a lovely full moon. We are going to move into the next phase of our manifesting series, which is, of course, all themed and centered around the full moon. So as we learned in our last couple of videos, the theme of the full moon is all about surrender. I would also say that like a secondary theme would be self-care. This tends to be a very emotional time, and it allows us to be able to create a space to go inwards, to flesh out anything that is in the way or causing blockages to manifesting. So today we're going to talk about a huge blockage that could cause your manifestations to be delayed or to not come through. And this is the energy of resentment. So resentment is a very low vibe. It's an energy that's usually carried in our subconscious, although we can consciously carry around resentment with us every single day. This tends to be something that we're not totally aware of. Like, we could be going through life, going through the motions, but deep down we're still harboring resentment towards our ex, or towards a family member, or towards our old boss, or our workplace, or that friend who screwed us over. So what's hard in these situations is when we get into a conflict with another person, or we're severely wronged or even abused by someone, we don't always have a chance to be able to talk to that person or stand up for ourselves or be able to come to a closure or to solve that issue. Sometimes people just kind of leave us in the dust and in the dirt, and we don't know how to process it. Well, if you have been severely traumatized or hurt or abused by somebody, number one, therapy with a licensed professional counselor or therapist. Tarot, life coaching, all of that stuff is great, but there are some things that you really need to see a absolute professional for. And I'm a huge advocate for that. I myself have gone to therapy, and it was really nice to have a professional to validate me and my experience and what I've been through, and actually give me some tools and some tips to be able to handle these energies so that they weren't affecting me in the everyday and stunting my growth and my ability to function in life. So if you feel like your ability to function and to be in the moment and to be happy is being impaired by something that was done to you or something you went through, especially conflict with other people, that's the first thing I would suggest. That will help you to clear out your root chakra and make you a better manifester. So yes, therapy is tough and it's an investment, and it can actually be a bit of a privilege. I know it's expensive and stuff, but it actually clears out your root chakra. So definitely when you start going into shadow work, therapy, digging up the past conflicts you have with other people, it really is like opening a can of worms. We run away from these things because frankly, they're just too painful to face. And oftentimes when we are hurt or wronged or abused by another person, for survival, we tend, and just so we can like go to work and pay the bills and like get through life and whatever, we tend to push these things down. We tend to not want to face them. It's a survival mechanism to not want to face that. Like, I remember my last breakup, even though it was years ago, it was super traumatizing for me, but I coped with it through like a lot of really unhealthy habits, patterns. I turned to things that were kind of meant to cover it up or push it down or push it away. And it wasn't until years later, when I was finally like in a safe space, that I was able to process it. Like, it all came up. So it makes me wonder how many of you guys through this lockdown and coming into silence and stillness and like literally being forced into your home, into quiet reflection, how many of you guys have found yourself thinking about things from the past, like old things, old hurts, old traumas, like things that happened from your past, cringy things? Like, how many of you guys have found yourself kind of taking a trip down memory lane, or maybe having flashbacks, or just processing things? And that makes sense because you never had the time or the space to process, and so now you do. So anyways, what we are going to do over the next couple days is we're going to tap into these hurts or to these traumas that we've had with people in relationships to help heal a little bit of the resentment. Now, the point isn't to completely obliterate it and heal it and make it go away, because healing is a process and there are various stages and steps. It's also not linear. We kind of go in and out of healing processes, but we're going to induce some healing here. And I want to say, listen to this next step of Manifest with Me and see how you feel about it. If you don't feel comfortable doing this part of Manifest with Me, or you're like, I don't want to open up that can of worms right now, that is completely fine. You can probably still manifest without doing this step. You can just skip this step, take some bubble baths, take care of yourself, take a little break from the manifesting process for a couple days while we're doing this, and then you can join me back again. This is a personal thing. I don't want to force anyone into doing something that's just not right for them or is going to cause them pain right now. So trust your intuition, listen to yourself. So you guys are probably like, what are we going to do at this point? This is something I've actually recommended many times on the channel. It's something that's helped me a lot in my own personal healing process, and I saw a significant difference in my life, my energy levels, my ability to manifest after I worked with this technique. So what is the technique? What you're going to do is you're going to make a list of people that you have beef with, or you had beef with, people that still kind of leave a bad taste in your mouth, people that you feel like you never got closure with, or that hurt you or abandoned you or rejected you or whatever, people that harmed you, abused you, traumatized you. You're going to make a list. Now, for some people, this list might be super long. I'm sorry about that. My list was pretty long when I made my first one. But what you're going to do is you're going to pick somebody off the list, and you're going to write this person a letter. Now, don't freak out, because you're not going to send the letter. This letter will never be seen by them. It is a letter that is for you and for your healing process. I repeat, do not send the letter. So you're going to write this letter, and you're going to write it to them without judgment over yourself. And you're going to say everything that you need to say to this person that you never got to say. You can go off on them. You can cuss them out. You can talk about how sad you are. You can confess your love to them. You can tell them how mad you are. You can tell them like the effect that what they did had on your life, whatever. You can talk about any guilt maybe you have. Maybe this is somebody that you feel like you hurt or that you upset. Maybe you regret something you did. And so you can write that out. You can apologize, whatever you need to do. And at the end of the letter, you're going to write something to the effect of, I no longer hang on to the energy surrounding this person or surrounding you, surrounding this event. In fact, you can take inspiration from the Hawaiian Ho'oponopono healing technique. You can write something like, I'm sorry, I forgive you, thank you, I love you, I am now free and you are now free. You can write something to the effect of, I now cut the cords that hold me back in any anger, shame, guilt, resentment, frustration, trauma connected between you and me. I cut that energetic cord. And then after you're done writing the letter and you've written that, you can burn the letter, or you can rip it up and throw it away. Similar to what we did with our intentions a couple days ago. Did any of you guys have fun with that? I just ripped my intentions to shreds and just threw them away. So that is a very powerful healing technique. Now I want you guys to be prepared, because while you're writing the letter, you are reliving this, and you are you're going into that energy again, and there could be tears. You could feel a little nauseated. It's possible you could shake a little bit. I mean, the energy of this could overcome you, but as you're writing the letter, and once you finish it and you rip it up and throw it away, it is a very empowering feeling. Afterwards, after this process and this powerful healing technique, you want to go outside and put your feet in the dirt, or sit on the dirt, maybe pull some weeds in your garden, or pet your animal, make yourself a nice lunch, sit in the energy for a little bit, but it's important to really move on from it. to allow yourself to like bring your energy back up. Basically, you're taking yourself down, you're going there, you're facing it, you're allowing yourself to be in it, you're making this powerful declaration that you're ready to let this go. And that's not something to be taken lightly. This is going to have an effect on your emotional body, your physical body, your spiritual body. So you might want to do this on a day where you feel like you have some time, or like an afternoon. It might not be good to do this like before you start your day, or before you go to work or something like that. It could affect you for a couple days. And I want you guys to really think about where you're at right now and ask yourself, is this something I can handle? Maybe you can tell a trusted friend or relative or somebody that you're going to be doing this healing technique. Ask them to check in on you, or plan to, have them to run to and hug. Like sometimes when I do this, I tell my husband, like, I'm doing that healing thing again. I'm going to write my letter. So just want you to know the rest of the day I'm kind of out of commission. Like I might need some extra cuddles. I think I'm just going to watch a movie after. Like I kind of like put my whole day aside, and even the next day sometimes I feel a little off. But for me, usually like a day or two after, I will feel so free. Like when I think about the person or whatever happened or the event, like it's not as intense. And I will say it's not always one and done. Sometimes this letter writing process, you have to repeat it multiple times. Don't expect this to fix everything, but it is a very, very powerful energy clearing process. And so I just want to offer that to you guys. You can write this letter, maybe this moon cycle, just pick one person or one situation that you want to like face with this letter writing technique. If you really want to go crazy, you can write a letter to every single one of these people, but that could be a lot. That could be really intense. Some of you guys can handle it. I don't know if I'd recommend it. Like in my life, it took me a good couple of years to write letters to like everybody I needed to and burn them. And I'm still kind of in this process, kind of going in and out of it. So I'll be honest, I'm kind of dreading this. I'm going to do mine, my letter writing thing tomorrow, maybe tonight. We'll see if I have time. And so I'm going to give you guys 2 days to do this. This is also a step that you could do anytime over the next 5 or 6 days. So maybe look over your schedule and you can kind of put this off till later. But I won't be posting for the next day or so, like come to the day after tomorrow. And just so you guys know, I always have alerts on my story when I put a new episode up, and make sure that you subscribe to the Manifest With Me playlist so that you get updates whenever it'll just give you a notification whenever I post on this playlist. So we're going into some deep shadow work here, you guys. We're going to pull out some roots from our root chakra and we're going to create space. So let me know what you guys think about this technique below. Let me know if you've ever done anything like this and how it affected you and what it was like. I hope that this provides you with some healing and that it has a very positive effect on your life. And if you decide to skip this step, it's not going to be that big of a deal. I'm going to have other techniques for you guys to do some healing, but we are kind of at a point where it's time to face anything that's holding us back. And this isn't about forgiveness. You don't have to forgive the person or yourself in order to heal. In fact, that might be an unpopular opinion, but forgiveness isn't, you don't have to forgive to heal. And I know some people might go off on me in the comments below, feel free, but I don't want to tell anybody to forgive someone that has abused them or hurt them or harmed them. You know, what's more important is that you don't judge yourself, that you don't feel guilt over the situation, that you don't judge yourself or blame yourself. That some people might say it's more important to forgive yourself, but I think that kind of assumes that you've done something wrong. And in many cases you haven't, and you were just like a victim to something. So it's more important to let go of the guilt and the shame and the judgment and the blame that you have over yourself in this situation. And we're not excusing these people for what they've done, but we're like, you know what? I don't have to take responsibility for that. That's on them. That's not on me. I don't have to carry around the energy of what they have done what they have done anymore. And this isn't to tell you just need to get over it, you just need to forget about it. No, some of these things will follow you the rest of your life, and they were wrong and you didn't deserve it, and it's gonna come up. You know, you could be healing from whatever this is for the rest of your life. But this is just a chance for you to get out some of that energy and be like, you know what? F this person, F what they did to me. It's okay to be angry. It's okay. Maybe you never had a chance. Maybe, you know, a lot of people, when you've been abused or hurt or harmed or whatever, they want to, I don't know, they just want to tell you to like get over it and push you past it. I think our society in general has a hard time like handling people who've been through stuff like that. They really want to push it around under the rug. I think it's because if another person admits like what you've been through and validates that kind of causes them to have to face what they've been through as well. And a lot of people don't want to admit that they've been abused or they've been a victim or something like that's happened to them. But this is a personal thing. And you can do this and write whatever kind of letter you want. And this isn't about forgiveness. This isn't about excusing anyone's behavior. This isn't about you having to take responsibility for anyone else's actions. This is a space for you to be able to say your piece and be able to say what you never got to say. And if you still feel resentment or hate or anger or whatever towards this person or this situation after, it doesn't matter. The healing comes from you being able to like speak your truth. That's what's so powerful, is to speak your truth. And so your letter doesn't need to be poetic or spiritual or kind or happy or non-judgmental. You can be a total jerk and cuss this person out, and that will be healing. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I hope that this process goes well. I'll be here for you guys. I'm going to come back and check on you here in a couple of days, and I will see you soon. Peace out.